If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I cannot express how important it is for people to start understanding nanoparticles. And I know it sounds like a boring thing, like science and robots and just pretty much lame stuff. But you have to start understanding nanoparticles. All this stuff connects with exactly what's going on in the world. It has everything to do with the Great Reset. It has everything to do with the black goo that you constantly see. And I've talked a lot about it. How, ways they can get it into your body, which we all, can use common sense and figure out. But one of the other ways I've talked about recently is in the food. And of course, I've had a video up, I think they took it down, where they were talking about creating rain using this type of technology. But in the food, I talked about recently, Coca-Cola had a warning and they had to pull them off the shelves because people were finding it in Coca-Cola. Obviously, you've seen some of the videos with the... I think it was like the Perrier water, forget off the top of my head, the spritzer water. I think it's Pellegrino, actually. And you could see people holding up magnets and then moving around. So we know that food is being obviously tainted as well. And what I want to show you is what they're doing exactly. Now, you probably remember the graphene video where they were printing things on the food, right? And they were like, look, isn't that neat? We could put our Bohemian Grove owl on your toast. Doesn't that make you want to eat, or does it make you want to crap? Crap, that's what it makes you want to do. But, these are ways that they ease people. And you could put your favorite anime character on your toast. Ooh, then eat it. Ooh, and I'm 40. Oh, right? 40-year-olds who probably, we live amongst big babies, right? But joking aside, that's what they're doing. And they're doing it, they're implementing it, showing you ways like that where they're going to say we can print graphics and do things on the food for kids, right? To get kids to eat it because they want kids to have nanoparticles in them. And another thing that we're seeing are people are actually experimenting, like I said in the Pellegrino video, on stuff that they're buying, and they're seeing stuff like this.
I have it on a pin, because I can hold it on a pin, right? A magnet. Now, I'm going to prove that this is a magnet with a chopper. All right, there you go. So we can take it off the output of my hand. All right, magnet. Let's reconnect this magnet here. All right, so magnet is back on. All right, there we go. Now, in this cup, I am going to show you graphene oxide, which is also a magnetic compound of carbon. I can find it now. I'm going to place a magnet under the cup and move it around so that you can see that these are moving. Mind you, the food is not supposed to be magnetic. All right, now watch. What as I place this under? All right, move this around. Now look at that. Look at that. Let me make a see. Watch that. See? These graphene oxide particles are moving with the magnet. Now, why is graphene in? All right, let me see if I can give you a closer preview. All right, I'm going again with the magnet under. Let me see if I can get this for all right, there we go. There we go, moving the magnet. Look at that. Look at that. You see, moving the magnet around, and the graphene is just having a field day. In this cup, that was a cup of tea. Yeah. They are putting graphene oxide in the food. Look how it moves with the magnet's movement. Look at that. They are putting graphene oxide in the food. And the next part of this that I'm going to highlight. All right. One more look at the graphene before we move forward. And look at, all right, look. So, see if I go watch one now. No more. All right. See, it comes back together when I put back the magnet. But this thing not focusing. All right, let me wash it around again. Let's wash that around so they start to stick to each other. So then find each other like a nice group of couples. Only many. There we go. There we go. Are you seeing that? Let me focus again. Come on, camera. Focus. Look at that. Look at that synchronicity. Look how it moves together. This is Jamaica. And this came from the sugar. Because that's what I'm going to next. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, moving more rigorously now. Seeing that? Graphene oxide is in our food. So it's
I mean, this is frightening. It's absolutely frightening, but it's reality, right? Recently, I also showed you the video with the pill, a medicine, right? Somebody opened the capsule that they had, and they were able to see that inside. They're putting it in medicines as well. Some people have already shown that they put it in the actual capsule as well. And you just saw just another example amongst many, right? Now, I know people, what they like to do is they like to deflect off of this. They don't address it. People who claim to be debunkers of conspiracies, who just are trying to ride the train. People are into conspiracies now. They weren't when I started, but they seem into it because obviously they've made it more mainstream. So these dorks like to try to debunk it. They do nothing but just make fun. They have no evidence to debunk. It's like Snopes. They have nothing. They just go false. Please click on the ad in the on our page so we can make ad money. We'll pretty much put up anything we can and say it's debunked because we're extreme liberal losers. In this sense, what we see a lot is that people hold magnets up to their meat, right? And not saying that it is magnetized or not. Most people know that if you buy something and it's packaged like that and it's wet, a magnet can stick to it. Not based on magnetism. It could stick to it for other reasons because of the plastic. You see people push the magnet down and then they hold it up. So they like to take those clips and go, look, we're debunking these people who are saying they're putting stuff in the food. We can't debunk these types of videos where they're literally showing you fly around through their food and stuff. And that's why they don't address those. They address the ones with the meats. But they've been trying this and doing this for quite a while. You can find many videos over the last decade of them talking about edible electronics.
The truth is, electronics in general aren't designed to be eaten. They often have indigestible or even toxic materials inside them that can cause serious damage if they get stuck inside you. But researchers all around the world are working to change that. Yes, there is actually a field of research called edible electronics. So why would you ever want to swallow electronics in the first place? One reason is medical imaging. There's a process called capsule endoscopy in which you would swallow a small camera inside a plastic capsule and it would take pictures of your GI tract as it passes through your system. That would mean a doctor wouldn't have to insert a tube into one end or the other or perform abdominal surgery. But there are alternative applications as well, such as authentication. A couple of years ago, a Motorola project leader actually suggested creating password pills. Imagine being able to log in securely to any device because you swallowed an e-verification pill that morning rather than having to type in a password. Or how about throwing good electronics after bad? Every year, thousands of people in the United States accidentally swallow button batteries. Often, these batteries just pass through our digestive system without any problem, but sometimes they can become embedded in various tissues, like the inner lining of our stomachs, and that can cause serious internal damage. But what if a child who accidentally swallowed such a battery could then take a pill containing a robot to remove that battery? For several years now, Dr. Daniela Roos and other researchers at MIT have been working on a concept called origami robots. These are robots that are folded up into a tiny shape and can unfold when subjected to a particular stimulus, like an electric current or a change in temperature. By unfolding and folding repeatedly, these robots can crawl or swim. And in 2016, these researchers from MIT, along with others from the University of Sheffield and Tokyo Tech, demonstrated that they could use such a robot in a simulated human system, an esophagus and stomach. It can be a challenge to make edible electronics since certain components tend to have really unfriendly stuff in them, particularly batteries and power sources, but that's beginning to change too. Carnegie Mellon professor Christopher Bettinger has been studying edible electronics for a few years, and his research team has created a battery with an anode made out of manganese oxide, which is a dietary mineral, and a cathode made out of melanin. That's the pigment found in skin and hair. This particular device could use liquids inside the body, such as gastric fluid, to act as an electrolyte to carry current between the anode and the cathode. And in the lab, they have demonstrated that this could create power of 5 milliwatts for up to 20 hours. Imagine a far-off future where you could even take something like a tiny surgical robot robot that could perform a procedure and then pass through your digestive tract. Or perhaps a drug delivery robot that could travel to a specific location in your digestive tract and release medication at the right time and place.
So the fact that they're not even hiding it, we know it's been going on, but now it's becoming more and more mainstream because more and more people have become aware. So even when videos like that existed, people were kind of just like, but now everybody's becoming really suspicious of Big Brother because of everything that's going on. They see them sloppily forcing things on people. They see that their MK Ultra is breaking down. Their social engineering is breaking down because people are getting rebellious against the celebrities because they realize that these people, because of people such as myself who expose them left and right, not just with the satanic symbolism constantly, they pretty much out themselves as devil worshippers. But they're constantly, instead of talking about, you go to Kim Kardashian and all these celebrities are constantly like telling you how you should think and live. And people are becoming aware again. And they're going, why am I listening to Taylor Swift's political beliefs? Right? Why am I listening to Katy Perry telling me how to vote or about gun rights? And they're getting rebellious against this sloppy operation. So more people have become aware that there is something going on, and they've investigated certain things, and now they're investigating their food because they see stuff like this, and they go, well, let me find out if this is a conspiracy or not. And they're finding out that it's not. And they find out that, wow, and then when people talk about it, the videos get deleted or they get strikes for medical misinfo when no one's giving any medical information because they don't want you to see it. They won't address it on TV. They'll never bring attention to it on TV, right? They won't talk about it. They won't say, hey, there's a weird thing going on where people are finding it. We did have the thing with the magnets, of course, where they tried to debunk it very quickly, and then they dropped it. They're going, oh, people are saying that they're turning into this. And then certain people tried the experiment. They're like, look, these people are idiots because it didn't work on me because they don't even understand how this whole thing works and whose immune systems are actually building up with this versus people who aren't and taking certain things versus other, I can't get into it, but putting a certain something in them. We've seen them casually try to debunk that and fail. Because all they do is fail at what they're doing right now. So people are seeing this stuff and becoming more aware. And you need to share this with people because, look, you could try this at home and you could find nothing. But that doesn't mean that it's not going on. It doesn't mean that it's not going on. Okay? Because it is going on. And they admit to it going on. And they're trying to now bait people into thinking that this is going to be a good thing for the future. Yes, there's going to be food shortages and things like that. And they could use 3D printing and all that kind of crap too. And they say, oh, it's okay, it's safe. Just like we saw with the bread with the owl. Oh, it's safe. Eat it, try it. It's safe. You'll crap out ink, but don't worry about it. When the black goo comes out, they just tell you it'd be no different than eating Chipotle and Taco Bell at the same time. Because that's probably what the outcome looks like. But you get the point. So let people know about this if they aren't aware. I know that most of you are aware, but you can never, beat the drum loud enough for people to start realizing that it's an attack on all sides. Everybody's looking at the air now. They're like, oh, well, you've got bio-warfare, China and Russia and all this stuff going on. The warfare is going on in every country from their own governments. And it's not blowing around in the air. Well, it is from the chems. I shouldn't say that. But it's not what you think is blowing around in the air. It's something else that's dropping from the sky that you're breathing. It's in your food that you're eating. It's in certain things that people are putting in them, like I showed you with pills and something else we could all think of. This is what's going on. And people need to become aware. This isn't a joke. I mean, people are like, because they don't want to believe it. Well, believe it, because you can't, the stuff with people debunking conspiracies and being against it is just lazy, sloppy, pathetic, don't want to agree with it because you want to believe the world is wonderful and great and that nobody would ever do this to them. Well, they are. And it's, if people don't stop pointing the finger at one another and looking at who's really doing it, then there's never going to be an advancement. It's only going to just get worse. And that's the way it's looking, unfortunately. A reminder, check out the website at callforuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. I hope to see everybody over there. There's a lot of great content. The forum itself is worth it. So please get over there if you're not. I want to thank all of you for your support. I appreciate you all greatly. Make sure you sub to my backup channels below. I hope you're doing well. God bless all of you and your families.